Here we go. Hey, hello everybody. Scott from Sierra Interactive. We are about to kick off our next webinar, which I'm super excited about. We're going to give everybody, as usual, a couple of minutes. To be honest with you, I didn't think of a real creative question today, so people can test out the chat. So let's see. I don't know. I'm looking at 80 degrees here in Northern Colorado. How is everybody else's weather today? I know it's a little bit boring, but I'm running out of questions. Where are you from and how's your weather? Build,
Good.
Idaho, 75 degrees. That is my and my wife's perfect temperature is 75 degrees. So we're going to wait a couple of minutes as usual to let everybody sort of chime in and get on here. And then I will introduce our 16 degrees Celsius. Now, Serge, you're going to make me go look that up and convert that.
Yep. I love it. I can't help you,
Oh,
man. I'm a
yeah,
calculator realtor.
I
There's no
know.
way I can do that.
I know. Well, that's what Google's for. So, Mark, nice to have
Yeah.
you back. 82 in Naples. I think we're going to be at 83 here in Northern Colorado today. So, we're giving you a run for your money. 66 in Michigan. I don't mind 66 as long as it's sunny. Mark, do you guys have
Right.
sun in Michigan today? 62 and raining. Josh, sorry, that just means you can get on the phones and do more work today. Nothing else to do. All right, cool. So we got some people chiming in. We got some more people coming online. Want to respect your time as always. So we're going to get started. And if you guys don't know my guest today, then you've obviously missed out on a lot of stuff that not only she has put forward, that we've put forward. She's one of our great partners here at Sierra, an incredible businesswoman, a super kind and generous person, and someone who has built multiple just mind-boggling businesses around sort of the real estate industry, if you will. What we're here to talk about is referrals. And one of the things I love about what Amy does is she doesn't go after referrals to go after referrals. She starts from the beginning, in the beginning of the relationship and builds that relationship with that future in mind, that the referrals are naturally going to come based on how she treats how she's treating those clients. And that's what she's going to teach us today. So with that, I give you Amy Stockberger.
Thank you, Scott. That was nice. Well, let me get my screen pulled up and I'm gonna get going quick here. Okay, we're good to go. All right, guys, we are going to talk about referrals. That's one of my favorite things. My vision, my mission in life is to build big, juicy legacies for everybody, and we do it in a relationship-based way. And I'm going to show you in this session how we turn every one client into five more using our lifetime lead strategies, how we keep our clients for life, how it increases our brand awareness on steroids, and it builds multiple revenue streams and how to really leverage systems and AI to scale in a way that'll help you build a referable, scalable, and ultimately sellable business, which I'm also wildly passionate about too. So a little bit about me. Scott kind of gave the overview of what we are, what we're about. But personally, that's my family up here in the top left. That's what we really look like as Stockburgers. My husband's my business partner. I've been in the biz for 26 some years. He joined me in '09 and we turned it into a real business. Then our oldest son, Logan, went to his first closing when he was 6 weeks old. He did more open houses than probably most real estate agents have ever done. Poor kid. He could actually price houses by the time he was 8 because I was a woman on fire and doing everything wrong. And so I was just working nonstop. And he would swore never to get into the business. And now, when he turned 18, he's 22 now. He got licensed while he was in high school, sold his first house while he was in high school, bought his first house while he was 18, and is a valuable, valuable asset, sits on our leadership team. That's Mr. Logan. And then Legend Isaiah, our middle one, our last one there here in the middle, is an employee as well on paper. He's the ambassador of fun and is exactly how he looks. He's just a fun little nugget. And we have a 12-year spread between the two. So we're raising two singletons. And I'm in love with AI. So I had to show you what we'd look like as cartoon marvels. And then as well as what we'd look like if we were in the movie Toy Story. So, but a little bit about before I jump into our model, just how we got there. It was about 2014, and I found a really big hole in our business and really a big hole in the industry as a whole. At that time, we were a small but mighty team. Systems are one of my superpowers. And so we were very systemized, really doing great on the before and during part of the transaction. But I just felt we weren't getting the repeat and referral business we should be getting because of how good we did during that before and during. And our clients were so happy. They were telling us all the time. And at that time, I thought I was so smart. I was running billboard ad campaigns to the tune of about 30 grand a year for one campaign goal to remind the people who knew, like, and trusted us to use this again. And shocker, it didn't work because it had nothing to do with servicing them, nothing to do with helping them pass the closing table, nothing to helping them with their biggest asset journey as well as their human journey. And so I went down the rabbit hole and tried to find a solution on how we could create a system to take care of our clients before, during, and forever. And I couldn't find anything to replicate out in the industry at the time, so I created our own. And it's a model that has allowed our agents, about 20 of our agents, so that's how big we are, to dominate about 10% of our local market share. We're above that right now, year to date. We've been number one in our market since we created our model, and we rank number 33 in the nation. And again, y'all, we're from South Dakota, so we're the fifth least populated state. And this entire business model runs on the foundation of serve, 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 sell. And we call it our lifetime home support model. And today I'm going to share with you 4 of those strategies, these lifetime lead strategies that drive that model. And at the end, I'm going to give you a QR code to download a workbook that is literally plug and play. So you can take, so don't worry about scribbling down a bunch of notes if you don't need to, but you can take this workbook and utilize it to take the strategies I'm talking about today, if they align, to put into your business today in a way that's practical to help you do what I think every agent should be doing every single day, which is building their referable, scalable, and ultimately sellable business. So I can't see any of you, so I'm going to pretend you all said, yay, let's go, but we're going to dive in right away. So the first one we're going to talk about is H to H. Now, agents, all agents do not mean to lose touch with their clients. We just run easily out of authentic ways to stay connected. And we obviously need to talk to our clients about the obvious things, about the non-negotiables of what their equity position looks like, what's going on in the mortgage world, what their neighbors' houses are selling for. But shouldn't your business model have more H to H, more human to human strategy in it than what your clients can find themselves on Google or any AI platform? Especially in the world we're in right now, at the rate at which AI and tech is moving, the one thing that tech will never be able to replicate is the human to human connection our brains innately are wired to crave. And we, back when we found that hole, we wanted to have more H to H, not only for our clients, but also for our agents. So we built in a heap of it. When you buy or sell a house with Amy Stockberger Real Estate, you get access to our VIP club for life for free. That's access to our moving trucks that are paid for by our vendors because we sell ad space on the back of those. It's access to our party supplies, our bouncy houses, margarita machine, popcorn machines, tables and chairs, our tool sheds. So that's our wheelbarrows, our carpet cleaners, our ladders. And besides branding every piece of equipment to us, we also set up our software so that when a client checks out a piece of equipment, their agent gets notified in real time so they can make that human to human connection in the time it matters. And we found by doing this, by serve, 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 then selling, that the law of reciprocity kicks in hard. Over 90% of our business right now can be traced back to repeat and referral. And that really plays off of this next stat that I think is sexy schmexy. Humans trust referrals from friends and family 92% more than any other marketing or advertising campaign. And our little VIP club, the top 20 pieces of equipment that are checked out every year can be purchased in today's pricing for less than $4,000. And we replaced our little VIP club with that billboard ad campaign, that $30,000 a year billboard ad campaign, where I was saying the same thing that every other real estate agent, team, and broker were saying in our market with our VIP club. And we have a 38,000% ROI from that. So it truly doesn't matter what your B2C strategy is or your B2B strategy if your H to H strategy is not elevating the client experience beyond the closing table. You're never going to truly unlock the potential of building a highly referable, scalable, and sellable business. So in your workbook, I built out a way for you to identify which H to H strategies align with you, align with your market. But first, it's going to give you a blueprint to follow, an AI blueprint to follow, so you can first determine your competition's strengths, their weaknesses, and their gaps. That way, once you understand that, it'll be easier to place in those H to H strategies to ensure you become that dominant leader in an era when humans are craving this connection more than ever. Number two, be a profitable super connector. Uh, we as real estate agents, we are the ultimate super connectors. We get to connect buyers and sellers, but we also get to connect our clients to everything else they need. If we do our jobs right, they come back to us asking us for trusted resources on who to use for an electrician, a dentist, who to use for a HVAC. Well, we took that trust and not only monetized it, but also turned it into a beautiful and large lead pillar. We created a vendor program made up of the best local companies in our market to give our clients legendary care like we do, preferential treatment. Sometimes they give them preferential pricing, but all the time they pay us a minimum of $3,500 a year to be a part of the program, and our max tier is $7,500 a year. So besides being profitable before we sell a home, we also turned it into a massive lead generation system because these vendors have to allow us access to their employees to be a part of the program, where we get to go in and explain to these employees how we do things very differently with our lifetime home support model. And typically, before we even get them onboarded into our ecosystem, we have one or two who raise their hand that they or someone they know has a life change that's come up that we can be of service from. And I feel oftentimes that most agents in our industry, because it's just the way our industry is, they forget that it's not always like what's new, it's what's true. And what's true is that you want to create and have as many people as possible talking about your brand in front of as many other people as possible, as often as possible, in the best way as possible. You want to, I truly think you need to create walking, talking billboards. And we had a situation, this happens a lot, but this situation is one of my favorites. But last year, one of our landscaping vendors was going after a big book of commercial business. And he was sitting in the sales meeting, and the prospect halfway through got a little bit, distracted and remembered and said, "Oh my gosh, I have to cut this off. I have to throw this party for a company we're onboarding. And so I'm going to need to go book all this or get all this party equipment." Well, our vendor was like, "Aha, I have a H to H strategy you're going to love." Brought them down to our little VIP garage, and they checked out every piece of equipment we had in stock. Every table and chair, our margarita machine, our portable Blackstone grill, all branded to us. And I'm told that at this party, it was 200 some people. And the CEO, I guess, was just over the moon about it, talked about our brand all night. Next day, he calls up the owner of the landscaping company, tells him what a salesperson did, gives them all the books of business that they were going after. Those two companies combined have about 500 some employees. And we turned them into walking, talking billboards of our brand by authentically serving their needs. And this program itself, like here's the actual facts, the numbers on it for 2025. My little brokerage closed 832,000 in GCI just from this lead pillar, the lead pillar of vendors and their employees. And we estimate we have about 38 million in the pipeline right now that is waiting. That's already some under contract, and that's waiting to come into contract. And one of those deals will be the biggest deal our little brokerage will ever do or ever have done yet, a land deal that was referred to us by an Ace Hardware employee. And that's just the front end revenue. That doesn't account for the repeat and referral business we get year after year for all the services we're giving to our clients. And it's a dirty word in our office to say past client. We only have forever clients. And so we're serving them at such a high level that we're so top of mind that we're the only brand that's coming out of their mouth when they are in front of somebody who has a life change that's coming up. And I love this department. It's my favorite department within our organization. And I love it so hard for our agents because it easily makes them sticky to the client so they never have commission breath. And it easily makes us sticky to the good real estate agents who align with our service-centric servapreneur mindset. We have an average agent tenure of 7 years because we are intentionally helping them build referable, scalable, and sellable businesses. So, in your action plans in your workbook, I built out an AI blueprint for you guys to build out the framework of your own super connector program, profitable super connector program. And I promise you, all of those names to build this out are in your phone right now. This is just giving you the tools to lay it out so that you can increase your sphere. The one thing NAR tells us year after year after year, your sphere is your biggest lead source. You should be leaning into that every way you possibly can in a service-centric way. Number 3 is nail your 30-second value story. And this is more of a, passion piece for me, guys. So I'm really, I feel I had to be very intentional about this after we found the major hole in our business. Because when we found that hole, we had to have some extreme ownership of what our actual value propositions were at that time. And what we found was heartbreaking because my value propositions for my little team at that time were that we were the local best at connecting buyers and sellers. Oh, yeah. And we could also find you the home of your dream that matches your budget and your parameters. Yeah, yeah. Oh, wait, sellers. We we could help you sell your house, most amount of money, shortest amount of time, least amount of hassle. Well, yeah, it's probably Webster's dictionary of what a real estate agent's job is. And it was what every other real estate agent was screaming in my market too. It was not a unique value proposition. And so we got very intentional, making sure that our agents had the tools to clearly and confidently communicate anytime, anywhere, the answer to this question, the audience they served, the problem they solved with our unique solution. And now on day 2 of New Agent Bootcamp or day 2 of them onboarding with us, our agents have to have their 30-second value story nailed down, which allows them to walk into every single room like they own it and walk out like they sold it. Because the person with the most effective communication in any conversation has the most amount of impact. And that's actually in our office. That's why our printing there. But that's a big part of who we are, of making sure that they're effectively communicating that and also communicating it out to the world when they're out in the wild. Consumers, the Gen Pop truly doesn't understand what it is that we do. And if you can't effectively communicate what your value story is, you're going to miss so many at bats because people aren't going to understand it. So in your workbook, I have my entire 30-second value story that you can R&D. I have an exact framework, acting like you're Alex Hormozy. You can throw it in, and then it's going to give you actually some face-to-camera scripts that you can do from that as well to make sure that you can nail your 30-second value story before you even leave the office today. It is so imperative, I feel. All in there. You'll get it here, the QR code here at the end. Number 4, make your business sad. This is another one of my passion projects, but this is another one of the reasons I feel that we've been staying where we're at in our market as far as where we hold market here, but also how we've intentionally built out a referable, scalable, and sellable business and showing agents how to do that and brokers and teams across the nation. But if you're not future-proofing your business, each and every day, you are slowly killing it. And you do not need to be a systems nerd. You don't. But if you do want to truly build a referable, scalable, and sellable business, you cannot ignore the SAD framework. And SAD stands for systemize, automate, delegate, and delete. And you need to run everything in your business through that framework. How can you systemize it? Where can you automate it? Who can you delegate it to? Or could you simply delete it? And one thing as entrepreneurs that we are really good at, we're good at adding complexity. And oftentimes, there's a part of your business where deletion is the smartest answer. I think Elon Musk, that's part of his creation process. There's some stat out there on it, but that he goes through and before they automate anything or systemize anything, they go back through and look at the workflow and decide what they can delete. 'Cause that usually is a good answer because it's not getting any ROI or it's not moving the needle in any way. And making your business sad has gotten so much easier with AI. And we, like many of you, are unapologetically AI first. In fact, the rule at our office is that if our staff isn't using AI first, they're being irresponsibly unproductive, and that does not align with any of our core values. In 2025, we automated 70% of our workflows in our major departments. We have hundreds of AI agents. We have digital employees that live inside of Microsoft Team for Teams, which is our communication portal, for agent support and staff support. And we're nowhere near stopping. I'm going to talk about Claude a little bit. I'm so in love with her. But I'm going to start with helping you with an automation that's lived in your phone since 2011, text replacements. And we use those at a very high level, both personally and professionally. So I get to tell a lot of people during the day that I love them, but I certainly do not have time to type out LOVE space YOU explanation point. I have not had that time for years. It has lived as a text replacement in my phone as LU, and it auto populates exactly how I feel. When we onboard agents, they get a cheat sheet, a text replacement cheat sheet of 30 plus workflows, phrases, next steps that they can use to help them save time at the small stuff so that they can leverage and serve at the big stuff that really matters. So when they have a buyer that contacts them that wants to start the process, the text replacement we use is BYRE, and it auto-populates 2 paragraphs of what the next steps look like. Same with sellers. We've automated every part of the workflow. So again, they can save time on the small stuff so they can serve on the big stuff. Same with when we're ideating with AI. If we're not using a voice search or any dictation, they type in AI backslash, and it spits out, ask me clarifying questions until you're 95% confident you can complete the task successfully. Because if your input in any AI platform is not clear, your output is going to be garbage. Same with our agents. Was very, very, very passionate about this. I wanted my agents to have as much information. Again, the most information they have, the better they can serve at the highest level. I want them to have as much information as possible about every homeowner and every home before their beautiful toes even walked into that house. And so I built the tool where they type CR backslash, it stands for client research, and it goes out and pulls all the information on that person from LinkedIn, social media, pulls all the information it can about that house. So they have a snapshot of what they're dealing with. One that situation that just came up with this is it was clients who are both deaf. Such a great insight to know before you arrive so you can have things and infrastructure in place to communicate effectively. Or how nice is it for them to know when they're working with an analytic, likely from their job title that they're pulling from LinkedIn, and how they can come prepared to mirror those conversations at a higher level. So really passionate about that. But then also voice dictation. I talked about that because text replacements aren't just for your phone. You can do the same thing on your computer. So if you're a Mac user, anything that you create in your iPhone, the same code works on your Mac. But for the desktop users, you can use TextBlaze. Actually, these are out of place. Sorry. You can use TextBlaze on there. And TextBlaze, our staff uses it. We have the team account. It's like pennies a month to run this. But when they're doing templated things, instead of going into copy and paste in some places, but templated things that they're answering over and over again, a quick shortcut has saved them so much time. And then for your phone, your computers too, if you don't want to use a third-party software like Whisper is a voice dictation that you can use, but all of us have built in for free into our computers voice dictation that comes up. So if you're a Windows user, if you hit the Windows button and H, the microphone comes up. Especially when you're ideating with AI, you should be talking to it instead of typing. I rarely type anything. I can talk a lot faster than I could ever for a second type. And I love any type of good automation. I even automated my phone to be my cheerleader. So when I plug her in, she says, Amy, you're amazing. I'm proud of you. Keep doing your best. When I arrive at the office, my dictate or my automation in my phone, my cheerleader is programmed to say to me when I hit the parking lot, Amy, go be the leader you would follow, the coach your team needs to get you to their next level and go spread kindness and solve problems. And when I arrive home every single night, when I turn into my driveway, my cheerleader on my phone tells me, Amy, you did a great job. I'm proud of you. Now go be the wife and mom that your children and your family deserve. You're so blessed. I love automations. I even automated my phone so I didn't have to type back LU to my husband every time he said love me. So now when he says love me, it just does this. And this is a conversation that happened between my phone and my husband. I was nowhere near. Went on for quite a while. I like the part where he's like, "Yeah, I get it. I love you, damn it." But yeah, he was over it. He got over it pretty quick. But all of those text replacements and the phone automations are inside of the workbook that I created for you guys. Next thing we're going to go to is some of the AI deliciousness that we're using. You've heard it everywhere. You're going to hear it here again. You guys, it's non-negotiable. You need to be showing up everywhere people are searching. There's 3 layers to modern visibility. I call it the trifecta of visibility, and you need to be in all 3. There's the search engine optimization. Sierra is so good at helping your SEO, and that's where it's going to get you ranked. And then there's the AEO, answer engine optimization. That's where you become the answer inside of those AI platforms. And then there's the sexy one, the GEO, generative engine optimization. And that is where you're getting cited. And I built out a 30-day step-by-step little tiny bites so it's not overwhelming of things you can do and leverage out your Sierra account too, or all the access that they give you to do this within Sierra. It's bananas on how much that we're able to do to push us up in all of these in there, but it's bite size by bite size so that you can give it to a VA, an EA, or even give some time on your calendar for you to easily do these tasks. Like some of the simple ones are the optimization of your Bing profile. You can actually sync your Google business profile so it's absolutely optimized as much as possible because that's where ChatGPT pulls from. Your Apple business, your Apple Maps profile needs to be optimized. There's over 1 billion Apple users. You need to make sure that you're showing up in the best way so that the machines can go grab your information the easiest way possible. And then non-negotiable, which is so great with how Sierra has built out access for us, is you need to have a hyper-local, up-to-date stat stack. So in Sierra, you go in and just create a content page, and I recommend a minimum of every 90 days updating. And if you can do it every 30, or if you can hook up Claude Cowork to do it, or even code to do it on the back end now with your computer shut, that you can have them go out and update these with hyper local stats so that it's easy for the robots, the machines to come out and pull you as the source on there. And we get such great traction from this, and it is the easiest thing in the world to do. And another one is to have an awards page, a stats page, as well as an awards page, and awards or accolades, whether it's the awards your brokerage has gotten, anything that you can put on there to add so that they can come and pull you, because that's what it's looking for. People are asking in questions. They want to look for answers and quick, easy snippet answers that it can pull to put into these AI platforms. And again, Sierra has done a knockout job in making sure that we have access to do that ourselves, just like that. So love that. And then Claude, if you guys haven't made the switch over, I really, really recommend you do that. We're using Claude at a high level in a lot of areas in our business. We have Claude. She goes out and she writes blogs for us, 2 blogs a day minimum. Actually, that has to do with just listings. And then there's parts of them she does co-work, goes out and posts on a couple sites for us. She also has allowed us to find about 1,639 tasks that our staff are doing, and we're automating 550 some of those. That way, our humans can do what computers and machines can't do. Really lean in to that client experience, that agent experience, elevate even higher our level of strategic relationship building so we can be even more of value to our clients and agents in ways that we wouldn't have access to before. So highly recommend you jump into Claude on that. And it just allows us to serve at the highest level. And then we also use Sierra and our relationship building as part of our serve, 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 sell business approach in all of our client events. Our business model really is a lifetime client event, but we are very, very, very intentional about creating good client events. We run 6 annual events a year. We have an ad spend, or we spend about 17,000 to 16,800 on our expenses for those. And we collect about $27,000 in sponsorship money. So we've turned our events into a profit center for us as well as serving. Our average agent gets about 2 additional referrals per event. My OG agents, my ones who've been with me for a long time, they usually average about 4 new opportunities per event through this simple law of reciprocity. When you give something to somebody, they feel compelled to give back in kind. Of the 6 events that we run, we invite 2 of them, 2 of the events of the 6, sorry, we only invite our forever clients. And forever clients means to us somebody who's transacted with us or in an active transaction. So of the 6, 2 of the events, we only invite forever clients. One of them is a date night. We do it in September when the parents are just kind of stressed and done with the kids getting back to school. We do it right in the end of September. We go back to school here in the middle of August. And it's really our only adult-centric one that we do as a large-scale event. We shut down an axe throwing bar. We give them drinks, food. It's a fun event, and it's great because you have a captive audience. We always speak during it. We always give shout outs to our home support team members. We're always talking about anything new that we're adding into that event. And then we also do an annual turkey giveaway. So we give turkeys away for life. The real Santa shows up every year as well too, and he does free pictures with the kids. This last year, we just threw our 20th annual turkey giveaway. We had over 1,100 people through our building. It was pure magic. The vibe was absolutely nothing I'd ever experienced, and we've done a lot of them. And actually, this is a picture of my very first client I ever served. So over 20 some years ago, he picked up his 20th turkey actually this year. And relationships like that, you guys, they don't happen on accident. Our model allows us to reach out and stay in front of our clients in a service-centric way, zero commission breath, over 99 times in 1 year for our forever clients. Not coming at them anything about asking anything from them, purely giving to them in all levels. So two of the 6, we only invite our forever clients of our events. Another 2 of them, we invite our forever clients and then our vendors in our vendor program and their employees. We do an annual ice skating event, indoor event, food, drinks, Sunday on us. And then we do a dumpster days. We just actually got done with our dumpster days. We put a bunch of dumpsters in the back of our building, let them go get rid of all the crap they don't want because we want it out of their house anyway because it's easier to sell. They love that event. And then the last 2 events that we do, we invite our forever clients, our vendors and their employees, and the entire community. One is so easy. It's a trunk or treat. We invite our vendors. We tell them to decorate their trunks and their logos. We invite non-vendors and invite them to decorate their trunks and their logos and use it as a pipeline to get them into our vendor program. We have thousands and thousands and thousands of people who come to this event. Because of that, we always give out our Home Sweet Fun activity book, which is a branded activity book that we, besides this event, put everywhere. It goes in our vendor lobbies, it's at open houses. And it's really just leveraging the same concept that McDonald's has used for decades in building brand loyalty from a young age. Because what happens in our brains innately when we see somebody being kind and authentic to our children, we start to build a little bit of a relationship with them. And this book also goes through and tells the story about what it looks like to be a client of Amy Stockberger Real Estate, how the kids get their own listing agreement, they keep the house clean for their parents, they get a toy at closing, how they can check out bouncy houses, how they have all these kid-centric client events. It's just a cute little, I call it kid-tested, parent-approved strategy of one of the many that we use, that it's an easy giveaway at an event like this. And our listings are on the back of it. Our sellers love that. It's just another place where they're in vendor lobbies. They're giving to thousands of people throughout that event itself. So that's a fun one. And then the last event, we created this event because of that mortgage lock-in effect. So we know people are not moving. They have great interest rates and they have more equity than they've ever had. So they're staying in their houses and they're fixing them up. So we have a home and lifestyle expo that we do now where we invite all of our vendors to come down. Anybody in our program gets a free booth. We sell booths to non-members and then use that as a pipeline to get them into our vendor program. But then we also have up our own booth. Our booth is set up so that we're there with an ROI booth on telling them approximately what every addition that they want to put into their house, what that's going to make them for additional appreciation. So they know in real time and we're of value, even though we know that they're not going to move, but we're helping them and serving them authentically that when they're around anybody else out in the wild, we are the first name that comes out of their mouth because of the services we're offering beyond being the local experts at connecting buyers and sellers. Our client events are very systematized. We have a save the date postcard that goes out in January so they know exactly what to expect. That save the date postcard gets posted in our private Facebook club for VIPs. Every event is in every one of our weekly email newsletters that come out. At the end of every year, we budget out all 6 of these, so we know exactly what we're going to do if we're adding anything big. Like our 20th, we added some extra flair to that one. But we also decide at the end of the year, before we go into that next year, what our sponsorship money is going to be. So we know what that sponsorship money is, when that sponsorship money is due, and what is the deliverables that those vendors are going to get by helping sponsor this so they can be in front of our target audience, which is a giant win for them. Most vendors and most agents, I will say, feel like they can't ask their vendors to do these things, but you need to look at it at a different angle. You're actually helping them be in front of their target audience. The majority of the marketing that they're spending dollars on, they're not in front of their target audience. You hold their target audience for all these home services, especially to have them come in front of them and be of service if they offer good service, of course, to be of service to your clients. You know your clients are going to need it. So it truly is a win-win situation on everything we built out with our vendor program. And then every one of our events lives inside a systemized checklist. It's automated, it's systematized, and it's AI infused. So every we enter one date in for the date, and it triggers out all the dates we need from mailings, RSVPs, marketing timelines. AI determines food counts, napkins, like down to the napkin. We had it down to the pizza slice at our March ice skating event. We simply show up and serve and love on the people that we have helped us and build our business, and that we are so happy to continue to be their lifetime home support partner. At the end of every event, 2 surveys go out. One survey to every attendee, seeing how we did, if there's anything that we can get any feedback on that we can change for them. They're the ones who are there. We want to know. And then the other survey goes out to our entire team. What were their thoughts? Because non-negotiable, within 7 days after every event, we have a post-event meeting and we go through all the survey results. We go through what worked, we go through what didn't work, and we go through where we can add more value next time, because that is such a big part of it too, and helps us systematize before we even get to that event. So we already have it worked out. So it's not something that we have to look at and take care of when it's time for that event. It's already done. So we're ready to just rock and roll when we get to that time frame to start marketing that out. All of this, you guys, I put together just a profitable client framework in the workbook that you guys are going to get. I promise you, you guys know running events are gold, that's relationships are really built. But when you systemize them and you have them cash flow, and your main goal is just to show up and have another reason for your forever clients to say your name, you will love throwing as many as you possibly can. And making your business sad truly will make you so happy, and it'll help you build that referable, scalable, and sellable business. And now, you guys, with the way, as I'm ending here, the way our world is moving, how fast our industry is changing, how quickly tech and AI are changing on the daily, actually, on both of those. I really feel it's the agents, the teams, and the brokerages who are leaning into not building a transactional business, but rather a transformational business. It's the ones who are done being just entrepreneurs, who are leaning into being what I call a servipreneur. Those are going to be the businesses that are going to scale fastest and are going to be the ones surviving decades from now. And those are going to be the ones that are the most fun to run because you're actually building your business in a way that is making it referable, scalable, and sellable. Okay, here is that workbook. If you guys want to grab the QR code on that.
Holy cow. I told you guys she's amazing. And that's like, there was stuff in there, Amy, that I haven't even heard before. And we've done a couple of these together. While we're wrapping up here, I'd love to hear in the chat what you guys picked out from Amy's presentation. One thing that you picked out that you're actually going to implement in your business. Because I mean, she's been doing this, you said 20 years, Amy, you've been building this system.
I found the hole in my business in 14 and we really
Okay.
started building it in 15
Okay.
and have it and just systemized it. Yeah.
Perfect. So we're like 10 years. It's a long
Yeah.
time. And I mean, you've built like an incredible system here, right? So a lot of times, and you know this as well as I, agents can come to these webinars, look at these things like, oh my God, it's too much to digest. Where do I start? Like, what do I do first? I'd love to see what you guys are actually going to take away from this. I personally loved the focus on the kids. That was super cool. And the home design event. I forget what it's called, but
The
like,
Home and Lifestyle
yeah,
Expo.
home and lifestyle fun. Like, talk about leading with value that, you don't, she's not going in there looking to sell homes, right? Like, she's literally looking to add value to her clients and everybody else in the community. And then she's there to help if people need help. So that's super amazing. And that really, to me, summarizes your approach to this entire situation. So great job at that.
And I did so that kids thing as the workbook in your guys' workbook or my activity book in your guys' workbook is a step-by-step way to do that with AI. And it just tells you follow the instructions in there and it'll shoot out one for you that you can easily R&D and put into your business.
Perfect. Perfect. Mark, appreciate your feedback. Going to add in monthly stat stack to his websites. He really liked that. And Sorrel had a great question. She loves the rental aspect of it, that's one of my favorites as well.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you even start? Like, what's one thing or two things that she should get? Um,
Well, based upon your market, I was, like what climate you're in. So I have people who run my program because I have a whole course on it on this. But say you're in a beach market, you could do beach concierge stuff that you're giving out to clients for free. You could give out, even like one of the biggest things that are checked out for us are tables and chairs. It is the silliest thing, tables and chairs, and our brand is on the back of every one of them. So in our market, we're South Dakota. A lot of graduations happen in garages here, and our stuff is littered in garages. There's our brand across, 3 weekends where our brand is everywhere out there because just little things that they need is so, and or even platters. Like people come and use we have commercial grade food warmers. Those are so easy to buy. And then and we just put our label on the top of it and they can come and use it for anything. And people use it in the happy times in their life and in the sad times. Yeah, the margarita machine is really
right. I was going to say, of
good.
course,
Yeah.
JC pointed out the margarita
Yeah.
machine.
The margarita is so funny. Well, okay, do you know what happens with this margarita machine? God, we spent like $300 on this thing. Big whoop, right? Think about, I do ask this question a lot when people ask me that. Think about what you can save money on by investing in something that has a bigger impact. What are you throwing money at right now that has zero ROI? Or that maybe you could automate that you don't need anymore, that you could put into something that's going to have a massive impact for the human. Like that's a good one. But that Marg machine, so it goes to we're a big hospital area here, and one of our vendors brings it to the hospital because his wife works there. And every Friday, they're not doctors or nurses. They work in the admin. They have margaritas. They have margaritas starting at 4 o'clock. And so my brand is in this great big hospital serving up these smart people some margs on a Friday. I'm like, okay.
Amazing. That's so great. That's great.
What price points are your turkeys? I'm actually an expert in price points on turkeys. This last year we got it for 99 cents a pound, and that's
Wow.
insane. But we price it out. We used to actually only do with our turkeys. We would only do it if they were in our vendor program. But it started to make more sense to just go to the most who we put them against each other. We're like, here's the three bids. We want to know we're buying, 500 plus turkeys. Who wants it the most?
Yeah, that's great. And obviously you're at volume now too. So you're at scale. So start smaller, get your best price. I'm sure you can
Right.
work on that, Josh.
Hmm.
Awesome. Well, it looks like the chat's has slowed down. Amy, it's always a pleasure to get to spend any time with you, let alone to
Yes.
be able to bring this value to our clients. And while we're talking about referrals, I would be remiss for our clients that are on this call. If you haven't seen it already, then I'm not doing my job. We are running a double referral promo until the end of April. So anybody that you send to us by the end of April to check out a Sierra system and become a Sierra client, we are going to offer double referral bonuses until as long as they sign up in May. So if you have any questions about that, reach out to us. But this is the time to send us your referrals since you're building your business on referrals, as Amy taught us today. So thanks
So
again so
smart.
much, everybody, for attending. Amy, thank you for not only your time but the information you put together and shared with everybody. It really is invaluable. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll quick answer this SC one, Scott. Sorry. So for
Yeah,
client events, how do you not sound too salesy? Make it all about them. It is all about them. Where everything that about that event is how we're giving back to them. How can we anything that we have out there is nothing to do with us. Do we have signs up of like, hey, did you remember that we have this? Hey, could you give us a review? But everything being to them like, hey, we just want to give you an afternoon of something fun to do that we can give back to you for being such fabulous clients. And people love that. They love things to do with their kids too. Like I said, we only do one really adult-centric big event, which is still a great event. But anything that they can find to do with their kids is fabulous. Like I wanted to, like we just had our 10th annual ice skating event. Um, the uh, I wanted to stop that one. I'm like, nah, I'm done ice skating. I've never ice skated once, just so we're clear. I've never been on skates once out there. But I was just kind of done with that event. And I talked to all my clients, there a lot of them who were out there this last in March, and they were all like so in love. I'm like, dang it, I guess we're keeping that one going. But like, but the surveys do help too, because you're going at it in a service-centric way. You're not seeing the workbook on the website. What website? Do you want me to put this back up? Here's
it
the
should
QR code.
be it should be with the QR code.
And you can go out and if you go out and follow me on Instagram at Amy Stockberger, and if you DM me 90%, your guys' workbook will be on that too.
Perfect. Awesome. Amy, thanks again. Really appreciate
Yeah.
your time. Everybody, thanks so much for joining us. Hopefully you got something out of this, and we'll be coming to you very soon with our next webinar. So look out for that as well. Thanks so
Thanks,
much, everybody.
guys.
Take
Have a
care.
great day.